I've been joining studio, and we'll have a sequel of a conversation after that documentary put together by Joseph Gold Armstrong Alogbe. He had to go to the Adan area, and you do know that Electrochem has been in that area trying to revamp the activities around the Songo Salt area. Well, a few conversations have come up, and I've been joined by two royalties who will help us get into the detail. Nene Lomo, the fourth. He's the divisional chief of the Lomobiawe clan of Adan, and Nana Adiki Manyeyo Adi, the first, queen of the royal Adibiawe clan in Adan. Good morning. Iba Manye. Great. Yesterday you watched the documentary. I'll start with you, Nene. Your initial thoughts about the documentary, Salt City.
Yeah, I didn't watch the entire documentary.
Right, but you watched some.
But before I do that, good morning to everybody. I had been told details in the documentary. And for me, I'm happy personally. I'm happy for the Adan State that everybody had come up with something, at least. To start with, I think it's good. People are saying Electrochem should work. Others are saying Electrochem should not work. The investor should not work. But from where I stand, I think Adan had suffered for so long. And this is the best time for Adan as of now. So I will wish and I will plead with each and every person in Adan to listen and to follow what the Adan Traditional Council has done in trying to engineer all this from their meetings. I think for 40 years and more, this has been a time, or this is the first time, that the chiefs are all being together from the Adan Traditional Council level and have agreed that the investor should take up this job and going to the president to talk to him and also to plead with him to give the Songo Lagoon and its adjoining lands to a private investor so we could all benefit from it. So I think what happened yesterday, for now, is good.
Is it the total agreement of all of you who are royals, or there are some who don't agree? For example, our information is that there are some elements, a Queen Mother or so, who do not agree to this. And the indication is that they would want harm to befall somebody so that it gets into the news, bad light, and then this whole project comes to a standstill. Is that the case?
Yes, we are hearing all this. For me, I'm not happy about what the Queen Mother had been doing with few chiefs who are community chiefs. I am saying that the Adan Traditional Council has started all this. We went to see the president. We were led by the paramount chief of Adan, Nene Abraham Kabwakwankun. Nene, my greetings to you, wherever you are this morning. And we went to the president on behalf of all those chiefs, including the Queen Mother. The Queen Mother doesn't form part of the highest hierarchy of chiefs in the Adan Traditional Council. So when we take decisions for them, after they are consulted and later they do not understand anything, they should get to us. But you see, the Songo Lagoon and its adjoining lands, as is there, belong to certain people. The lagoon itself belongs to the Tekwebiawe clan. But there are lands around the lagoon, which belongs to Adibiawe, Lomobiawe, in the old concession for Apenten in 1970 to 71. But now the current concession for the new investor,
which is Electrochem,
includes a bit more. There are lands which do not belong to Tekwebiawe, which are so much in the concession. So I believe whatever issues we may have, we should come together and then sit around the table.
Let me bring you in at this point. So the disturbing information I heard was that it is the orchestration of some elements to have somebody killed. One person killed, whoever it might be, so that that kind of conversation will start and say, well, we shouldn't have gone there in the first place. Have you heard it? Has it come to your attention? What do you say?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to use your medium to say good morning to my Paramount Chief, Jeche Oyinenawam. These issues have been cropping up from time to time. And you know, in 1987, during Appendix time, same incident happened and a pregnant woman lost her life.
Okay.
So now they want to use that as a yardstick, that once the concession is given to a private investor,
okay,
because of their galamsey and selfish interest, they will frustrate the system, they will frustrate the investor until somebody dies, like they did in Appendix time. Then the whole project will come to a halt for them to have their way and do what they've been doing for 40 years, which has not brought any benefit to the people of Ada.
I'm looking at the lagoon itself. I'm looking at aquatic life. It's been absent for 40 years. I'm looking at people mining on their own. I'm looking at people mining in the heart of the lagoon instead of trying to divert the water and to be able to mine salt. Now, what is Electrochem doing differently, which is why you support them, and which is why those other elements do not support?
Okay, for the past or before Electrochem came, the lagoon has been dried for 40 years, no water. Even a layman, if you hear lagoon, you should, the first thing that comes to mind is something holding water. Currently, as we speak, the places that Electrochem has not yet developed, you can play football there. I said it somewhere that, but for Electrochem's intervention, this Qatar 2022 would have been played there. Because the lagoon, oh yes, something that is supposed to be a lagoon, it's like a food
dry land now.
Dry land. We drive through it. We do everything. Okada ride to everything, but it was supposed to be a lagoon until Electrochem came, and this is as a result of the activities of these Achiakpo and Galamsey operators. So what they do is the water that was in the lagoon, they pulled it to do their over the years.
That's the small packs of patches they create to mine their salt.
Yes, to do the illegal mining, Galamsey, over the years. So now the lagoon is dried and it's not getting water from its source. That is the sea. The water was supposed to come from the sea to the lagoon as a reservoir, so that the adjoining lands around the lagoon would be used for salt mining. And now they are not able to bring water from the sea. So they've used what was there during Appendix time. What Appendix was doing, they fought him, make sure somebody died like they want now. And then it was left for them to use for 40 years. But until Electrochem came, the lagoon for 40 years dried, has now received water.
So now the fear is that they may lose their livelihoods. What kind of agreement did you have with Electrochem that while they do their industrial mining, would they also have an opportunity for them to also be part of the whole production? Do they still get to do their private mining? Are you creating basins for them? Are they going to be giving employment? Is there a quota system? What kind of agreement did you have so that these mines will be put to rest?
John, thank you very much for this very important question. So far, so good. If you should go there today, per the agreement, Electrochem had already created pans, which we call, or we term as community pans. And those pans are meant to be for the communities. If you go to where I assisted or shown Electrochem to actually produce or create pans to produce salt for the community to mine, it's called Nakonkopi community pans. It is ready. The brine is in there. The salt has already crystallized. And we are about to start mining. I think there is other places too that you could see these pans being created. If you go to Monikopi, Flupo, they've created about how many? About 13 pans. 11 pans. My area is 11, including a reservoir which will receive the brine, which was to be put in.
And these pans can be mined from by the community?
Yes, it is meant for the community. If you go to Pusim, there are also 11 pans there, which is being dressed up for it to receive water for crystallization to start. If you go to a place called from to Flupo, you are going to close to Madavono area. I mean, getting to Machakope area. Also, they've created community plans, and there are a lot more to come.
Are there political undertones to all of this?
Yes, there are. All the problems we're having have been fueled by politicians. You know, in Adan...
What are the politicians looking for? They don't want you to have your lagoon functioning, industrialized salt production, livelihoods of people made better. What are they looking for?
You know, no power. They want to talk about it in their own way, where people will listen to them and then they could get power out of it. But the Adan traditional authorities are not looking like that. We are looking for employment for our people. So hence all this. But the Hola Balo has to do it, don't do it, doesn't rest with the politicians. So we've been asking them to stay out and then try to advise instead of coming.
But you say you went to the president.
Yes.
Did this also go before Parliament to ratify it? The responsible Ministry of Mines, Lands and Natural Resources, did they all take it off before this happened?
Yes, Johnny. After meeting the president, the next thing to do is to ratify the lease to the investor we wanted, or we've been asking for. And the ratification has been done by Parliament.
So if the president gave his blessing, why are the politicians coming in?
I'm lost as to why this is happening. That's why we are advising them to stay out. They should leave Adan, let Adan develop for once, after 40 years.
Manye, women and children, they are my focus. Your women folk and the children that you give birth to.
Yeah.
Are you, for example, demanding for schools, better schools? Because whoever is behind Electrochem, whoever these politicians are, their children attend the best of schools. Are you demanding for saying, for example, are you getting a certain quota of the salt that is mined so that you have access to the market to be able to trade it? What is the plan?
Thank you. Please, I would like to add a bit to what Nolin Lumu said about the politicians getting involved in what is happening in Adan. You know, it's like one politician or both of them, both parties, Party A and Party B, has been in power. I told you this.
You mean NDC and MPP?
Yes, they've all been in power 40 years, so it has not been one-sided. These people came, they went, but the thing was there. I think at a point, none of the parties saw it possible for Adan Songo Lagoon to be revamped to what is happening now. So when the traditional council went to see the president, he took the bold step, granted the lease, and now work has started. So one way or the other, somebody thinks I should have been the one to do this. So then, let me create confusion around it for the project to stop. When I come, I'll come and do it. That is it.
That's what's happening now.
That's what's happening. Because there are some interviews that some people granted. I wouldn't want to mention them now. And we're like, wait, when we come, we will come and do it. Wait till when again? Haven't you come before?
But there are concerns that you rejected the Patel Hospital, Central University. There are concerns that you rejected all of those ones.
Yes, please.
Why did you?
Maybe it's... that one I can't say is politics. Maybe some of the attitude of some of our people, the groups that are fighting against this project for their own personal interest that you can't really understand.
But you disagree?
Yes, I disagree.
Nana, you disagree as well?
Yes, I disagree. Bator Hospital was coming to Adan. In Temahabo, it was then coming to Adan. And you know what they did? Strangely, they rejected it and they pretended to like sort of light. Adan do not need light, and when Harbor comes there, there'll be light all over the place, and then things will not work well for us.
Who are they?
Our own people and those who do not want development. We're doing same.
See, Manya, I asked you a question about women and children. Maybe you wrap up on that for me. Women and children, what's the deal?
With the women, currently, the company that is Electrochem has given 3 million Ghana cedis interest-free loan for the women to invest in their various small businesses. And about 700 plus women have benefited from the scheme already.
3 million?
Yeah, 3 million Ghana cedis.
I see.
Interest-free.
And what about the children? Quality of school, education? Because you know that when some of these factories come up, the children may want to stay away from school and go and plug into the industries. Yeah. So you are a mother figure. That's why I'm asking you this. Yeah. Quality of schools and education.
Currently,
access.
as we speak now, since Electrochem came last year, for instance, they sponsored about 50 of the free SHS. Those who qualified and were not able to get the prospectus, even though it's free, but you need to get the long list. And some parents were not able to afford. Electrochem supported them. It's currently going on for this year, those who had the admission into their various schools. Electrochem has taken notes, or we as the community, there are not enough nursery schools in some of the communities, and the company has promised to collaborate with the assembly to build a lot of these nursery schools in our community, so that it will inculcate the habit of early education into the community.
I see. Nana, you have the closing thoughts. You are asking the politicians to stay off.
Yes.
But then, can your people count on you for them to get the best out of the natural resource that God has blessed you with? And I think that's the mainstay, the bigger conversation. So beyond asking the politicians to stay off, what is your pledge to your people?
Okay. Thank you, Johnny. We had been telling them that for a long time, the Songo Lagoon hasn't benefited most people in Adan. This time, they will have to count on us, because we have sat and have decided as to what to be done so that we could all benefit from the only resource we have in Adan. So the right thing to do is what we have done. Like I said, if anybody has a problem or do not understand what has happened, why Electrochem is working, they should come back to us and let us negotiate so that we could go ahead and work. It is the youth employment we are looking for. We don't need anything from there. But being so wise, we had even done an agreement or a gentleman agreement with the investor that we should be helped the more. So we're making additional 10% apart from the royalty, which could be put into other facilities to improve the area and to build capacity of our people. So they should count on us. We are ready to work together. Let them come to us, and then we can go ahead and work.
I hear you. The traditional authorities, they're saying, stay off, politicians, stay off. And I maybe want to land a line or two. I say there are things that we cannot continue to politicize in this country. Security is one, livelihoods or economy is one, education is another, health is another, and security. As soon as you decide to politicize these things, we will run at a loss and we will fall into a ditch. If for 40 years this has not happened, and thanks to Joseph Gold Armstrong for bringing this to life, 40 solid years, if the lagoon has become like a football playing field, and now it's returning to its natural state, and people are getting employment for it, I see no reason why anybody should be kicking against it. It doesn't make sense to me, actually. It doesn't make sense. Thank you very much to you, Nene Lomo, the 4th Divisional Chief of the Lomobiawe clan in Adan, and Nana Adiki Manyeyo Adi, the 1st Queen of the Royal Adibiawe clan of Adan. Thank you very much. Most grateful that you could join us. Joseph Armstrong says this. It says also production estimates 1 million tons in a year from Electrochem, 5 million tons in 3 years. That's the projection. Employment estimate current. They have 500 full-time employees. 2,000 of them are casual workers. 1 year, 3,000 jobs have been created. 3 years, 6,000 jobs for industrial plant and across the value chain. That's, for me, it's remarkable. Good morning to Honorable Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover. Thanks for doing the watching. We'll see you after the break. There's more here on New Day.